One thing that might be shut down, I hope it's completely shut down. Oklahoma lands a wide receiver commitment in the 2026 recruiting class. Let's discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And just want to give a special shout out to you, the everydayer, for making Locked On Sooners your first listen. We just had our biggest month ever on both the YouTube side and the audio download side. And that's not possible without your support. And we are so thankful for you. We love to do this show. And we probably would do this show whether you were listening or not, but we enjoy doing it way more knowing that you enjoy our content and you enjoy the product that we put out. And we love the feedback that we get both on social media and on YouTube. So please keep that coming. We thrive off of the feedback, both the positive and the negative, the constructive criticism and the criticism. We take it all and we hear it and we try to grow from it. But we are so thankful for you guys and just cannot wait to continue to bring you great content every single day here on Locked On Sooners. The Oklahoma Sooners. Oh, you got something to add there, Jay?
I was going to say, yeah, and all the yelling y'all do at me, I really do appreciate it.
That's right. That's right. Hey, every hero needs a villain, and if Jay has to be your villain, by all means, go for it.
No, but okay.
That's not how that works. Oh, my bad.
Point. Fair point, though.
No, but even the non-Oklahoma fans that come through, we appreciate you guys as well, too.
Those terrorists, those definitely are great to have. But no, please continue.
All right. Brayden Allen. Oklahoma receives a wide receiver commitment in the 2026 recruiting class. I'm excited about this kid. He's a 3-star prospect out of Louisiana, the number 55 wide receiver in the class, according to On3. But, man, there's a lot to like about his game, Jay.
There is 6'1", 6'2", about 170, 180 pounds. Has the breakaway speed that you want out of a wide receiver. He is based out of Lafayette, Louisiana. So one of those Louisiana kids that rarely leaves their own state. He was at Tulane. He decommitted, did a visit to Colorado and Oklahoma in back-to-back weeks. And the anticipation was that he was going to pick one of the two. He went to Colorado last on September 27th. So the thought was, okay, he's probably going to end up at Colorado. He kind of fits the mold of what wide receivers are there at Colorado. But he decided Oklahoma, and the Sooners have been on him for a while. Like, they've been on him all through the summer. And the one thing I like about him, though, like I said, not only with his size and breakaway speed, he does a triple jump in track. So he's a track kid as well.
Athletic.
Very athletic. 55 catches for 1,155 yards and 10 touchdowns as a junior. Absurd.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good for a player down there in Louisiana. You know, the Louisiana wide receivers, man, they be coming out of nowhere. A lot of them go to smaller schools and then they transfer, especially with the portal. They end up at another bigger school. I mean, we got Giovanni Gibson, from he's a Louisiana kid that ended up at Arkansas Pine Bluff, and we're hearing nothing but great things about him. But I think Brayden Allen has an opportunity to be in something special here. He has enough breakaway speed. He's not the fastest top speed. I think 11.58 on the 100, which is still pretty fast, but not what we're used to when you get them 4.3 speeds and 4.4 speeds we're seeing. But I think that his breakaway ability is all that matters, and I like his tape.
Yeah, I mean, he might not have tested well in the 40, but he's got speed on tape.
Yeah,
that pops. And being fast and playing fast are different, in my opinion. You don't have to be fast to be able to play fast. And he looks like a kid that can play fast. He's fast out of his breaks. He's fast down the field. He's fast after the catch. He's fast where it matters most. And you can build on the 40-yard dash time as you get ready for the NFL here in like 4 or 5 years. That's fine. Play fast for me. Love the hands. He's a hands catcher. Love that out of my wide receivers. They're not always trying to body catch. He shows the great ability to get downfield and to win contested catches as well. And man, we just know that these Louisiana kids are just kind of a different breed, right? They just come with a little bit of crazy to them and a little bit of cocky. And I want that in my wide receivers, especially. You've got to be the guy that believes he can go make every single play every time the ball's thrown his way. And I want that in my wide receivers. So after he committed to Tulane back in July, his recruitment actually picked up. Ole Miss offered, Colorado offered, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State all kind of came calling over the next, month or so. And so like if Lane Kiffin's coming after you, if Prime's coming after you, I'm encouraged. And I think this kid has a higher ceiling than what he's being rated right now. And it gives you a third wide receiver in the 2026 recruiting class. So your depth is getting kind of rebuilt a little bit after you lost so much through the transfer portal after last season. This helps to rebuild that depth.
Yeah, this is the third wide receiver in the class. Daniel Odom is still in there from California, the St. John Bosco, the 6'2", 175 receiver. So about the same size as Braden. And you still got ZZ from up there at, Rejoice Christian up there in Owasso. That's the good thing. You've added multiple receivers. Like you said, we're replenishing the cupboard. You're going to lose, 2 receivers in this class at minimum, with Deion Burks and Keontez Lewis. You might get Giovanni to come back for one more year. You might not. We'll see what that looks like. But that's the good thing, is you're adding more wide receiver depth for the room. You may move some players around. You may move some players out that aren't cutting it right now. But this is what you want. You want to make sure you have some young wide receivers to develop. You want some young wide receivers that could potentially play. Because I think Daniel Odom's one that has the talent to crack a depth chart young, because he's still still a top 4-star wide receiver. So I do expect us to get one more receiver, one more on the list. So keep your eyes open. I know that they're chasing a couple of guys, and I know there's one that they're trying to flip that we were basically favored for a while. So we just got to wait and see if it happens.
Where else do you think Oklahoma might go in the 2026 recruiting class? Do you think that there's another position they might try to target? We know that they've been in on Brandon McMorris, the offensive tackle prospect out of Norman. Who else are they going after?
Yeah, see there's McMorris at from the local kid, so you want to look at him. I know that I saw a report that we're still talking to Gross, the wide receiver from down there in Texas. We're still in conversation with him. He committed to Florida, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to continue to, assess the situation and see if we could try to win him back.
I said Brandon. It's Daniel. My apologies.
Sorry, yeah, Daniel. And so there's a few. I think we may actually end up looking at maybe an additional player in the backfield to go to DeSephon Walker. We've been dealing with a lot of injuries in the backfield over the last few months. So it'd be nice to have one more running back in the room just in case. I'd say that's probably your next direction. Maybe get another DB. We probably could use one more corner as I think about the way the team is established. But I know they're not done with this class, because we have so we're ranked right now 20th on on 3. And I think class-wise, we've got 20 players so far? So, yeah, 20 commits. So I could see us going up there into the 24 range and probably adding a couple of offensive players and a couple of defensive players.
Yeah, and Oklahoma's done a great job at like the end of cycles to identify guys that have flown under the radar. I'm thinking of a Taylor Wine in particular. Ashton Sanders was one of those a few years back as well. But Taylor Wine in particular, somebody that wasn't getting a lot of recruiting buzz, but Oklahoma saw something in him, went ahead and made a late offer, and then got that commitment. It was like a month before the early signing period, or even sooner or closer than that. So I expect that they'll do the same. They'll find somebody that they really, really like and make a late push for them. And again, it might be an under the radar guy. It could be a big 4 or 5-star prospect. We've seen them do that too, where, a Peyton Bowen or, Michael Fasusi was one of those that seemed to be in flux up until the early signing period, but they kind of squashed all the noise there. Oklahoma's going to continue to recruit well. Brent Venables is a great recruiting head coach, and his staff does a fantastic job. Jim Nagy just helps enhance all of that. Yep. So Oklahoma lands Brayden Allen. The class is not done yet. We'll see where they go. So make sure you're tuned in and subscribed to Locked On Sooners wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, where we'll break down Kent State and Oklahoma and give you some bold predictions. We'll go through Friday fan feels and more on our Friday episode. We'll be here live after the game Saturday for our post-game reaction. When Oklahoma names its number, Michael Hawkins Jr. has a big, big day, and the Oklahoma Sooners rushing attack gets on track. We'll do that here on Locked On Sooners. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer
Sooner.